Method of constructing large marine diesel engines and reducing the total engine frame weight is through A. Welding plates to form sections for assembly. B. Casting interlocking components. C. Forging integral components. D. Case hardening integral components. 2. Jacket water temperature in a closed cooling system of a diesel engine is normally controlled by A. Regulating the chromate level in the primary. B. The operation of the thermostatic valve. C. Quick level of the fresh water expansion tank. D. Varying the engine load to meet temperature requirements. 3. What is the meaning of static suction head of a pump? A. Distance the suction liquid level is below the center line of the pump. B. Amount in inches of mercury the total suction head is below atmospheric pressure. C. Distance of the suction liquid level above the center line of the pump. D. Force necessary to overcome frictional losses in the pump and piping. 4. What is the heat exchanger used to heat the boiler feed water by means of waste gas as it passes from the boiler to the stack? A. Close condenser. B. Economizer. C. Oil heaters. D. Fresh water heater. 5. As the pump speed increases, what will happen to NPSH or net positive suction head? A. NPSH decreases. B. NPSH should be half the original speed. C. NPSH remains the same. D. NPSH increases. 6. What needs to be done in order to maintain the gas turbine sustainable power output? A. None of these choices. B. Compressor washing. C. Turbine washing. D. Internal grain washing. 7. Prior to departure, what preparations are required regarding pistons and cylinder liners of a diesel engine? A. Preheat cylinders and pistons, turn engine cylinder lubricators, or turning. B. Close safety valve put out turning gear open air bottles. C. Open starting air, start booster pump, start stern tube pump. D. Open indicator Cox-Co's safety valve turn lubricators. 8. The best action to do if the main engine slows down and the cause is not detected immediately is to A. None of these choices. B. Inform bridge immediately. C. Inform the chief engineer. D. Inform the second engineer. 9. The oil scraper ring of a 4-stroke engine piston is installed at this part. A. Third ring. B. Middle ring. C. Top ring. D. Lowest ring. 10. Which of the following components are directly connected to the propellers and lies mainly encased in the stern tube? A. Intermediate shaft. B. Propeller shaft. C. Tail shaft. D. Thrust shaft. 11. If a leak is suspected in a tube heat exchanger, what should be checked first? A. Fixed tube end for security in tube plate. B. Tube plates for cracking. C. Tightness of flared tube end. D. Tubes for damage. 12. What is the means of removing the heat of condensation from the refrigerant in a normal refrigerating cycle? A. Passing refrigerant to freezing point. B. Condensing the refrigerant in the system condenser. C. Passing the refrigerant to the expansion valves. D. Passing the refrigerant in the heat exchanger of the suction side of the compressor. 13. What will happen if the fuel injected too early in the injection cycle? A. Early detonation and loss of power. B. Better fuel atomization. C. Smoky exhaust. D. Lower exhaust temperature. 14. What will happen to a diesel engine if air is present in the fuel lines leading to the fuel injection nozzle? A. Failure to start. B. Lower compression pressures. C. Runaway without load. D. Overheating without smoking. 15. Proper atomization of fuel in diesel engine combustion chambers will A. Reduce compression pressure. B. Improve combustion. C. Decrease power output. D. Affect the injection pressure. 16. In order to recognize the amount of anchor chain paid out, specific portions of the chain are color-coded and wrapped with wire. The first shot of chain is painted A. Red on the detachable link and red on each link to either side of the detachable link. B. A. White on the detachable link and white on each link to either side of the detachable link. C. Red on the detachable link and white on each link to either side of the detachable link. D. White on the detachable link and red on each link to either side of the detachable link. 17. Increases in rotor clearance in a rotary pump will A. Increase discharge pressure. B. Decrease pump cavitation. C. Decrease pump capacity. D. Decrease reaction ring clearance. 18. Which of the following is a function of burner atomizing steam? A. Maintain constant high fuel temperature. B. Maintain a constantly high fuel pressure. C. Prevent overheating of the atomizer. D. Impart swirling motion of the oil for efficient combustion. 19. In a low-pressure air compressor, the loss of volumetric efficiency normally results from A. Inaccurate valve timing. B. Heating of the air leaving the cylinders. C. Adiabatic compression in the intercooler. D. Constant enlargement of the clearance expansion volume. 20. The degree of fuel atomization in a diesel engine cylinder depends primarily on A. Supply pressure to the pump. B. Shape of the combustion chamber. C. Timing of the pump. D. The size of the holes in the fuel nozzle. 21. For proper combustion where the ratio of fuel oil and air is necessary, the term stoichiometric mixture means A. More fuel, less air. B. Right amount of air and fuel. C. More air, less fuel. D. Equal amount of fuel and air. 22. Refrigerant is circulated through a refrigeration system by the A. Evaporator. B. Expansion valve. C. Compressor. D. Condenser. 23. According to regulations, a power-driven auxiliary steering gear for a vessel capable of a 12-knot service speed must be able to meet the rudder movement requirements at which of the minimum vessel speeds listed below? A. 6 knots. B. 7 knots. C. 12 knots. D. 9 knots. 24. Refrigerant is circulated through a refrigeration system by the A. Condenser. B. Evaporator. C. Expansion valve. D. Compressor. 25. Settling tanks are part of the fuel oil system used for A. Heating to allow sediments and water to settle down. B. Purge air in the system. C. Heat fuel in correct temperature for atomization. D. Filter and purify fuel oil. 26. Calculate the friction power of the engine with indicated power output of 190 horsepower and shaft power of 162 horsepower. A. 84.4 horsepower. B. 28 kW. C. 28 horsepower. D. 84 kilowatts. 27. Where can you find the refrigerant sight glass of a multi-box refrigeration system? A. After the compressor in the discharge line. B. After the condenser in the drain line to the receiver. C. Before the compressor in the suction line. D. After the receiver in the liquid line. 28. A suitable location for the installation of an impulse-type steam trap would be in the A. Drain line from a high point in the main steam line expansion loop. B. Horizontal run of drain line from the lowest point at the outlet of the heat exchanger. C. Steam supply line to a feedwater heater. D. Vacuum drag line from the atmospheric drain tank to the main condenser. 29. An inadequate reciprocating bilge pump discharge is most often caused by A. Defective intake valves. B. Clogged drain valves. C. Clogged suction strainer. D. Scarred cylinder walls. 30. An unloader is installed on an air compressor to A. Bypass the high-pressure stage to the intercooler. B. Remove the compression load as the compressor comes up to speed during starting. C. Prevent excessive interstage pressure build-up. D. Control compressor discharge pressure. 31. A turbocharger is an air compressor driven by A. Engine exhaust gases. B. Compressed air. C. Gear or chain of the engine. D. Intake air. 32. In a refrigeration system, how do you clean the oil filter? A. Remove and soak in soap and dry by air blowing. B. Remove and clean with gas. C. Pulling out and clean with chemical. D. Take out and blow with air. 33. In a large slow-speed propulsion diesel engine, the side thrust on the crosshead is the direct result of A. The piston rod acting against the crosshead during the power stroke. B. Cylinder pressure acting against the piston crown. C. The angularity of the connecting rod against the crosshead during the power stroke. D. The velocity of the crank pin during the power strokes. 34. What is the simplest method used for determining if a centrifugal pump is operating as designed? A. Close off the discharge valve, and watch for a rise in pressure. B. Use a clamp-on ammeter and compare the readings to past records. C. Momentarily close off the suction valve, and watch for a rise in pressure. D. Closely observe the pump discharge temperature. 35. Why should a boiler furnace be purged before the burner is lit off? A. To ensure proper fuel-to-air ratio. B. To clear the furnace of any explosive gases. C. To clear the wind box of any explosive gases. D. To control air pressure in the wind box. 36. When a burner atomizer is improperly positioned in the distance piece, it may cause A. Oil impingement in the furnace walls. B. The ends of the flame farthest from the atomizer to be yellowish-orange. C. Slag formation in the screen tubes. D. Erosion in tubes baffles. 37. The range of values around a set point of a measured variable where no action occurs in an automatic flow controller is called A. Error. B. Deadband. C. Bias. D. Deviation. 38. Operating a rotary gear pump far below its rated speed when handling low viscosity liquids will cause its volumetric efficiency to A. Increase steadily as the moving gears develop less vibration. B. Fluctuate due to the amount of slip variation. C. Decrease to where the pump no longer develop flow. D. Remain unchanged due to its positive displacement characteristics. 39. What can be found when subjecting a metal to an axial? A. Elasticity. B. Main Hall. C. Braking strength. D. Strength. 40. When installing a new rotary pump, the suction piping should A. Be of same diameter as the pump suction connection. B. Be sloped to tar pump. C. Be the next size smaller than the pump suction connection. D. Be at least one size larger than the pump suction connection. 41. Almost all solenoid valves are actuated by A. The force of gravity. B. An electromagnet. C. A spring. D. Refrigerant pressure. 42. Component of an engine used to increase scavenging air is called A. Turbocharger. B. Engine blower. C. Scavenging flaps. D. Scavenging valve. 43. Which metal is bolted to the ship's hull to preserve the steel against pitting? A. Nickel. B. Lead. C. Zinc. D. Tin. 44. Through which part of the air register assembly does the largest quantity of air passes through? A. Stationary air foil or bladed cone. B. Atomizer assembly. C. Air door opening ring. D. Diffuser or impeller. 45. What component is used to thoroughly separate small particle contamination from hydraulic fluid? A. Accumulator. B. Strainer. C. Filter. D. Separator. 46. In most horizontally split centrifugal pump casings, wearing rings are prevented from rotating by A. Using wear rings with a larger than normal outside diameter and having the casing them in place. B. Using one dowel pin pressed into the side of the ring, then fitting the pin into a hole drilled into the side of the casing ring groove. C. Swelling the wearing rings into the casing. D. Using an extended lip formed on one half of the ring and using the upper casing half to trap the lip when the casing is reassembled. 47. The ash content of a fuel oil is significant to the operating engine because A. Indicates the content of energy released by burning a unit amount of fuel. B. Is useful for determining proper atomization temperature. C. It is an indication of the amount of non-combustible material present in the oil. D. Reflects the overall thermal efficiency of the fuel oil service systems. 48. kPa is equivalent to A. 2250.2 bars. B. 43.52 psi. C. 3 in of Hg. D. 7.5 mm of Hg. 49. What part of the steam-assisted atomizer where the fuel and air mixtures take place? A. Tangential slots. B. Whirling chamber. C. Mixing chamber. D. Fuel oil swirlers. 50. In most horizontally split centrifugal pump casings, wearing rings are prevented from rotating by A. Using wear rings with a larger than normal outside diameter and having the casing crush them in place. B. Using one dowel pin pressed into the side of the ring, then fitting the pin into a hole drilled into the side of the casing ring groove. C. Swelling the wearing rings into the casing. D. Using an extended lip formed on one half of the ring and using the upper casing half to trap the lip when the casing is reassembled. 51. At what pressure should a cylinder relief valve of an internal combustion engine be set to relieve? A. The valves should be set to just stop relieving with the engine running at full speed. B. Cylinder relief valves are no longer required for large low-speed engines due to advancements in combustion engineering. C. Cylinder relief valves should only be adjusted by an authorized repair facility with the permission of the OCMI. D. The device should be set to relieve at a pressure not more than 40% in excess of the maximum firing pressure. 52. To produce power, a 4-stroke cycle engine has A. To complete 2 revolution of crankshaft. B. To complete 4 revolution of crankshaft. C. 4 cylinders and 4 pistons. D. To complete 1 revolution of crankshaft. 53. Why cruise ship is one of the main candidates for gas turbine propulsion? A. The excess heat from gas turbine machinery can be utilized as an accommodation heater. B. The fuel efficiency of the gas turbine machinery. C. The compactness of gas turbine machinery can be exploited to create extra accommodation. D. Gas turbine machinery can produce heat for ships' laundry services. 54. An eccentric reducer, used as a transition piece between a centrifugal pump suction flange and the suction piping flange, must be installed with the eccentric portion below the suction pipe centerline to A. Slope the suction line up with the pump. B. Prevent the formation of air pockets. C. Reduce vapor pressure of the water entering the pump suction. D. Allow sediment to settle on the bottom. 55. How does the power transfer from the engines located deep inside the hull of a vessel to the propellers at the aft? The answer lies in an integral mechanical component known as A. The thrust shaft. B. The intermediate shaft. C. The marine shaft or propeller shaft. D. The tail shaft. 56. The net positive suction head of a boiler centrifugal feed pump should be calculated over and above the A. Pump capacity in GPM. B. Impeller ratio in the pump. C. Speed of the impeller. D. Feedwater vapor pressure. 57. Air trapped in the hydraulic fluid of a steering system would be indicated by A. Bubbles in the sight glass. B. The pump overspeeding. C. Ram relief valves lifting. D. Erratic rudder response. 58. In which of the listed components of refrigeration system does a superheating of the refrigerant take place? A. Expansion valve. B. Dryer. C. Receiver. D. Evaporator. 59. Which significant combustion elements of fuel oil is a major source of air pollution? A. Carbon monoxide. B. Hydrogen. C. Carbon. D. Sulfur. 60. If the water level cannot be seen in the lower part of the boiler gauge glass, which of the following actions must be carried out immediately? A. Secure the boiler fires. B. Check the DC heater water level. C. Increase the feedwater going to the boiler. D. Blow down the boiler. 61. The dimension of the thinnest hydrodynamic film developed within a full journal bearing, when all other factors remain constant, depends upon the A. Interfacial tension of the lubricants. B. Pour point of the lubricant. C. Dielectric strength of the lubricant. D. Fluidity of the lubricant. 62. An electric motor failure in an electro-hydraulic steering gear system would cause the rudder to A. Swing 350 right or left. B. Swing up against the rudder emergency stops. C. Remain locked in its last position. D. Midship position moved to the automatically. 63. Before loosening pump covers, how should the pressure be checked? A. Air vent valve open and clear. B. Checking the pressure gauge. C. Remove cover slowly. D. Remove drain plug. 64. Faulty operation of diesel engine fuel injection nozzles can be caused by A. Leakage past the plunger into the oil rain. B. A. Distorted fuel spray pattern. C. Excessive fuel nozzle cooling. D. Water in the fuel oil supply. 65. Carbonization in the surface of the fuel oil heater will reduce the heating capacity because A. Fluid film covers the surfaces reducing the heat transfer. B. Loss of heat transfer. C. Radiational heat is reduced. D. Relative velocities of the flow of liquid decrease causing corresponding. 66. Which part of a diesel engine that fuel is admitted into the cylinder combustion chamber? A. Injector nozzles. B. Exhaust ports. C. Intake valves. D. Carburetor. 67. The shaft coupling for the gear pump is prevented from rotating on the shaft via A. Lock nut. B. Key. C. Universal fittings. D. Set screw. 68. How is dissolved oxygen in boiler feed water minimized? A. Maintain high feed water temperature. B. Phosphate treatment. C. Bottom blow down. D. Surface blow down. 69. In a diesel engine, an integral liner is one in which the cooling water A. Flows through the cylinder liner jacket and touches the other side of the liner. B. Touches the other side of the liner. C. Flows through the cylinder liner jackets. D. Neither touches the other side of the liner or flows through the cylinder liner jacket. 70. After changing out the fuel filters, the diesel engine fails to restart. What could be the probable cause? A. Air-bound fuel system. B. Low compression. C. Improper spark. D. Change in viscosity. 71. Gas turbine has operational flexibility. Which of the following is the reason? A. High power to weight and power to volume ratios. B. Low noise and vibrations. C. Swift start-up. No warm-up or idling period is required. D. High availability, underwritten by high reliability and rapid repair. And turbine change options. 72. A recirculating, or bleed-off line is installed on a centrifugal pump in order to A. Equalize pressure on both sides of the suction valve disc. B. Decrease the net positive suction head. C. Establish a back pressure at the labyrinth seal to eliminate leakage. D. Prevent the pump from overheating when operating at shutoff head. 73. What result will be achieved in maintaining fuel oil temperature properly? A. A decrease in cylinder blow-by. B. An increase in cylinder blow-by. C. Improved atomization. D. The elimination of valve wear. 74. When an engine coupled with the large vibrational shocks that act on the shaft, and there could be permanent damage to the propeller shaft and why? A. Due to tail shaft weight. B. Due to intermediate shaft weight. C. Due to thrust shaft weight. D. Due to propeller shaft weight. 75. Which of the following is the possible cause of fluctuating steam pressure of atomizing steam system? A. Incorrectly assembled burner tip. B. Malfunctioning of steam traps in the atomizing steam. C. Partially closed atomizing steam valve. D. Ruptured steam passage in the boiler burner. 76. In a refrigeration system, the amount of refrigerant admitted to the evaporator is directly related to A. Condenser cooling water temperature. B. The superheat of the refrigerant in the tail coil. C. All warding files the compressor discharge pressure. D. The solenoid valve differential pressure. 77. Why are burner registers to be left open for few minutes when securing burners? A. To purge the furnace. B. To cool the uptakes. C. To stop steam generation. D. To cool the furnace. 78. A hydraulic actuator is a device that uses hydraulic energy coming from a hydraulic pump and produces linear mechanical power. What component of the device that produces linear mechanical power? A. Hydraulic cylinder. B. Hydraulic pump. C. Hydraulic motor. D. Hydraulic clutch. 79. One of the main functions of wearing rings, as used in a centrifugal pumps, is to A. Allow for economical replacement of worn internal pump components during regular overhaul maintenance. B. Maintain radial alignment between the pump impeller and casing. C. Absorb all impeller shaft end thrust. D. Prevent water leakage to the atmosphere. 80. In an electro-hydraulic steering gear, any change in relative position between synchronous receiver and the follow-up gear will result in A. Driving the rams up against the stops. B. Closing of the six-way valve. C. The pump going to full stroke. D. Corresponding slowing or increasing of the pump flow rate. 81. In a flash-type distilling unit, which of the following first absorb heat from the evaporator feed? A. Air ejector condenser. B. Vapor feed heater. C. Saltwater heaters. D. Distillate cooler. 82. Noise and vibration in a condensate pump would be caused by A. Running in the wrong direction. B. Excessive speed. C. Worn wearing rings. D. Bent shaft. 83. The functional difference between a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke cyclone engine is in the number of A. Piston stroke needed to one complete revolution. B. Piston stroke needed to complete a combustion cycle. C. Strokes in each combustion event. D. Combustion event occurring in each stroke. 84. Salinity cell is installed in the distilling unit to indicate the A. Amount of chemical to be added. B. Quality of water produced. C. Quantity of fresh water produced. D. Leaking tube. 85. It refers to an internal combustion engine practice, where there is a necessity of heating the oil, to ensure easy flow and good atomization. A. Tracing steam. B. Pilot injection. C. Recirculation. D. Preheating. 86. Short cycling of a refrigeration compressor refers to A. Frequently starting and stopping. B. Running too slow. C. Frequently grounding out. D. Running too fast. 87. Provision is to be made for ventilation of an enclosed diesel engine crankcase by means of a small A. Fan to develop a slight suction not exceeding 1 of water. B. Breather or by means of a slight suction not exceeding 1 of water. C. Vent line attached to the uppermost area of the crankcase near the center of the engine. D. Aperture not exceeding 1 in diameter. 88. Which type of pump is used in the steering gear of modern ships? A. Vane. B. Gear. C. Reciprocating. D. Centrifugal. 89. A diesel engine fails to start due to excessive water in the fuel. Before the engine can be started, the water should be removed from which of the following? A. Lube oil filter. B. Fuel lines. C. Rocker arm reservoir. D. Crankcase pump. 90. Cylinder wear may take place as a product of mechanical wear, corrosion and combustion which is hard to remove. A. Corrosion. B. Frictional wear. C. Adhesion. D. Abrasion. 91. After the installation of new impeller wearing rings by pressing them onto the pump impeller hub, it is advisable to A. Visually inspect the rings after about an hour of service. B. Check the shaft and impeller assembly on centers to see if the ring surfaces are true. C. Dynamically balance the shaft and impeller. D. All of the above. 92. What is the most effective way of detecting any malfunction of machinery during their operation? A. Electric siren. B. Blinkering lights. C. All of these choices. D. Alarm gong. 93. What part of the steam-assisted atomizer where the fuel and air mixtures take place? A. Tangential slots. B. Whirling chamber. C. Mixing chamber. D. Fuel oil swirlers. 94. Why are air compressors equipped with unloading system? A. Seating valve plates during compressor shutdown. B. Relieving intercoolers of high temperature buildups. C. Removing all but the frictional load during starting. D. Providing high starting torque in the drive motor. 95. Maximum rated horsepower of a diesel engine is attained. A. At rated engine RPM. B. When the engine RPM is pulled down by overload. C. At the speed of maximum torque. D. At 50% of rated engine. 96. Which of the following statement is true if the lube oil temperature is allowed to become excessively high in the heaters? A. The fuel will ignite even it has not reached point of ignition. B. The lubricant will carbonize and its lubricating ability will be reduced. C. Excessive temperature will increase oil viscosity that results to poor combustion. D. Excessive temperature will cause the fuel oil to crystallize resulting in pulsating fires. 97. In order to move the rudder, what must be created by steering gear? A. Friction. B. Torque. C. Load. D. Force. 98. In a centrifugal pump, the seal piping directs liquid from the discharge side of the pump to the A. Wearing ring. B. Packing gland. C. Lantern ring. D. Stuffing. 99. If the moisture content of air increases, what could happen to the difference between the dry bulb and wet bulb temperature? A. Remained unchanged. B. It increases. C. At dew point. D. It decreases. 100. Slag build-up on boiler furnace refractory is undesirable because it causes A. Shrinking of. Congratulations! You finished this competency. Please check your answers through this answer key. And don't forget to share this blessing to others. God bless you always.
Raymart Remix.